It could be called either a feast for or assault on the senses, depending on your perspective. And perspective is key at a new immersive museum now open in Japan. It's the work of Team Lab, an international art group based in the Asian country. It features more than 50 displays like this, which could be awfully hard to describe to someone who hasn't been here. The interplay between music, light, and dynamic objects is intended to give visitors something they haven't seen before and won't see exactly the same way again. In fact, the museum's meant to challenge what people think about as lasting or permanent, according to the Team Lab founder who spoke to the Singaporean newspaper, The Straits Times. The venue covers more than 107,000 square feet over several floors. One tourist described it as huge, and tickets to step inside start at just under $30. Could it leave a lasting impression that spawns millions of prints like Van Gogh's Cafe Terrace at night? Or is it something temporarily stunning but soon forgotten? Therein lies the subjectivity of art itself. Next on today's show, a proposal to ban social media for anyone under the age 16. This is The World from A to Z. I'm Carl Azuz. Let's have a look at what's taking place in the European nation of Denmark. In a speech to Parliament this week, Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said, quote, "Mobile phones and social media are stealing our children's childhood." How? The Danish leader pointed to record high levels of anxiety and depression, difficulty concentrating and reading, seeing content young people shouldn't see, and not making an effort to hang out with others in person. She blamed social media as a factor in all of this, and she proposed making sites like Instagram and Facebook inaccessible for people 15 and under. However, Prime Minister Frederiksen left the door open for social media use starting at age 13 if parents give permission. There is disagreement over this. For one thing, some experts say kids could learn ways to get around the electronic restrictions, and that with no social media access at all, they might not develop the skills needed to use it wisely when they're allowed access at age 16. And digital rights groups say eliminating social media use will reduce the ability of kids and teens to express themselves and take part in public forums. Debate over this issue is rising around the world. Last year, Australia became the first country to propose a ban like this. It's another example of how authorities are trying to balance the potential upsides of the technology, staying connected to loved ones, sharing experiences, feeling part of an online community, with the potential downsides of losing privacy, being accessible to strangers, being exposed to harmful material. There are also questions about who should make the rules about social media: governments, the online companies themselves, parents, or teenagers. Meantime, with an increasing number of teenagers saying they use social constantly, experts say there's an increasing need for them to have in-person get-togethers.
From online interactions to social media scrolls, it can be hard to get away from technology, and it can take a toll on youth.
Really, in the last 10 to 15 years, I have seen more and more digital screen distress.
Dr. Jennifer Zumaraga with El Camino Health describes digital distress as a combination of excessive screen use and a negative impact on mental health. She says it can lead to anxiety or depression. Warning signs can include irritability, isolation, withdrawal, hopelessness, aggression, and in extreme cases, she says some will have suicidal thoughts or self-harm behaviors. It can also impact focus and attention, with some teens having a difficult time setting boundaries for themselves to get off their screens. That's why she suggests set up a digital plan. It includes screen limits and coming up with activities to replace the time usually spent on a device. She says getting outdoors or meeting up with other families can help encourage connection. I'm Mandy Gaither.
Word of knowledge. What was the longest running musical on Broadway? Cats, Les Miserables, Chicago, The Phantom of the Opera. Running for more than 35 years with almost 14,000 performances, the record holder is The Phantom of the Opera.
On this date in world history.
Behold the Washington Monument. Seemed like the right voice to say that in. It was on October 9th, 1888 that the world-famous landmark was opened to the public. Built to honor the president, also known as the father of the country, it measures just over 555 feet high. On October 9th, 1919, the Chicago White Sox lost to the Cincinnati Reds in the World Series, which was followed by what's called the Black Sox scandal. 8 White Sox players were accused of accepting bribes from professional gamblers to intentionally lose the 1919 series. Some admitted they'd accepted money, but a jury found all of them not guilty in 1921. Still, the new baseball commissioner punished all 8 players by permanently banning them from the game. This was the date in 1986 when The Phantom of the Opera, the stage musical, opened in London. The Andrew Lloyd Webber show would go on to become the longest-running production on Broadway in New York. And Afghanistan held its first democratic election on this date in 2004 after the U.S. led a group of countries to overthrow Afghanistan's restrictive Taliban leaders. Democracy did not take hold there. The Taliban took charge again as U.S. troops withdrew from the country in 2021.
Where in the world? This is a nation that achieved its independence from Britain in 1947. It's the world's 8th largest country in area, and it's often called a subcontinent. In recent years, it's surpassed China as the world's most populated nation. This is India, whose population stands at more than 1.4 billion people.
In central India's dry forests, this group of men quickly cover ground. They're community trackers, hunting for signs of elephants, and not for sightseeing. The data they gather saves lives. These trackers try to maintain a distance of about 220 yards from an elephant, so they have time and room to run. The massive mammals are quicker than you'd think. Despite weighing up to 6 tons, locals say an Asian elephant can cover several hundred meters in just 30 seconds. And encounters can be deadly. Across India from 2023 to 2024, 629 people were killed by elephants. There are fewer than 50,000 Asian elephants in the wild. A majority are in India, but some can be found in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. More and more, the usually shy animals are coming into dangerous encounters with humans because of expanding settlements and growing forest disturbance where the elephants live, including coal and iron ore mines. 2 years ago, the government funded the launch of an app designed to alert local residents when elephants are near, so they can avoid those areas. Villagers provide their mobile number and geotag location. They then get alerts when an elephant is within 3 miles. Announcements are also broadcast on loudspeakers in villages as a second line of defense. Those trackers, they're employed by the State Forestry Department, 250 of them, gathering and feeding data into the system. Monitoring the animals over vast areas of thick bush is no picnic, but the alert system is more effective than darting with tranquilizers and attaching radio collars to the pachyderms. The government's app alert system has significantly reduced casualties and prevented hundreds of fatal tramplings each year. In one region, for example, 5 people died in 2022, the year before the system launched. Yet, only 1 elephant-related death has occurred since.
Attention Orangemen and Lady Orange, we're calling on you, the mascots of Beatrice High School. It's great to have Mr. Wells' class watching from Beatrice, Nebraska. Making a stop in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, where the Falcons are taking flight, Mr. Coe's class is here from Monroe County High School. And the Warriors of Weston, Connecticut wrap things up for us today, Miss Quaintance's class. Great to see you at Weston Middle School. The bad news for a recent party in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The music was too loud and they got a ticket. The good news, the police officer called to the scene on a noise complaint wasn't all business. He appreciated the music enough to join in the fun. We can't say if he was one of the better dancers there, but the other folks appreciated his style, according to the police department, and the hosts agreed to turn the music down. Seems he broke the law himself by assaulting the dance floor. Maybe, that is so cheesy. Maybe he read the Mirandance rights before racketeering it up, stealing the spotlight, busting a move, possessing dangerous skills, aiding and pirouetting, and DUI, dancing under the influence of rhythm. I'm Carl Azuz, and you have the right to remain awesome like Friday. We'll see you then on The World from A to Z.